All right, everybody, here we are. This is Galak-Z, and we're joined by Jake and Brett from 17-Bit. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. Couldn't be gladder that today's the last day of the show.
Yeah. End of GDC. So you have, according to the screen here, this is the GDC 14 build.
It is 2014.
Oh, yeah. Okay, 2000.
To be specific.
Yeah, all right. Not the 1914 build.
No.
This would be way futuristic.
Yes.
I was on the other laptop.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to speak.
Yeah. Do not speak of the laptop. The laptop doesn't exist. There is no laptop.
Of 14.
So Galak-Z, this is coming to PlayStation 4. Is it this summer?
Late summer,
Late summer.
probably. Yeah. Vita as well.
Cool. Yeah, right.
So
that's right. Yeah.
That's going to be all kinds of exciting.
So what is this? What are you going to show us here? What is this build?
So this is the GDC 2014 build.
Got it. Okay.
As
great.
illustrated here.
Very sparkly.
This is kind of a generic mission type. It's kind of go in and extract the crystal for your warp engines. It's surrounded and guarded by all kinds of bad dudes. There's the blue-skinned Imperials. There's the space pirates, and there are the kind of indigenous plant, which is dangerous, and bug life.
All right.
And basically, those three factions also don't get along. So we'll probably come across some dudes already engaged with each other in a very unfriendly way.
Great. Let's get in there and see them fight.
Shoot some stuff.
So as you can see, we're going for this kind of really TV episode of like Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, anybody grew up watching Robotech or Gundam, Star Blazers, all that kind of stuff, Voltron. Kind of going for that deep space, kind of late 70s, early 80s anime vibe. Here is where you sort of receive all your missions. This is CIC. Your character here, Adam Takamoto, his call sign is ATAC. He's the star pilot, and he comes up here for mission briefings and stuff like that. There's going to be more kind of story and some more voice stuff going on. This is kind of an early pass at this. But you can see we are in deep space here, and we are going to jump in. I can choose from one of the three difficulty settings here. This is all kind of placeholder stuff, but you can see where we're going with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and get stupid and jump into the hardcore.
Please do.
Yeah. So the game is a roguelike. It's procedurally generated based on very highly hand-tuned, hand-created levels, or pieces of levels that are kind of put together, stitched together intelligently.
Okay.
But it's cool because I never know what I'm going to get out and find. The names even are procedurally generated.
Oh, really?
Oh, the writers
database,
stuff?
yeah. The name, the writers, and the title episode of the name of the episode.
That's great.
So this is a physics simulation game. It looks like a spaceship shooter from the 90s, but it's anything but. This is actually, I like to think of it as Far Cry 3 in 2D. You can kind of cruise anywhere. You've got these thrusters, you've got a booster, you've got a side booster. You can kind of strafe around these things and do some circle spins. It feels great to just fly around. This is a big part of this game, is just this feel of weightlessness and kind of getting grips with your engines and then shooting these things. We spent a lot of time kind of digesting and processing the explosions from like the old animes, like the old Macrosses and stuff.
Yeah.
The laser effects and stuff. Like I wanted to do something that looked stylized and hand-drawn, and just kind of a little bit more style than the typical sort of generated explosions that are all just done by computer. Like a lot of hand-drawn stuff. All the backgrounds are all hand-drawn, but placed in the 3D engine in 3D planes. So you can see I've got light sources on my laser beams and stuff. This is all bouncing off the normals, but they're all actually hand-drawn. There's these different transition zones that kind of move in between things. These are kind of these, you gotta watch out for spiders in these kind of narrow, dark spots.
Space spiders?
Space spiders.
Come on, man.
Have you guys not
You're a
seen?
You have
monster.
stretched beyond
like-
the limits of
I feel like
possibility.
there's one here somewhere. There he is. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Fuck, the thing's huge.
Get out. Yeah, get out. So the shield's kind of like Halo. My shield's, whoa, I'm gonna back right up. Here comes this patrol. They haven't heard or seen me yet. You can see their vision cones are kind of clear and normal. They don't know that I'm here yet. I'm gonna let my shields recharge before I engage with them, and the reason I'm engaging with them is because I want their space money.
Oh, is that the currency in Galak-Z?
Space money. Okay, that was totally unfair and unsportsmanlike, but this is war.
Yeah, I mean, you are robbing them.
So that scout ran
It's-
off, and he saw another patrol, and he went and grabbed them. And so now they're looking for me. I'm gonna take him out because I'm pissed at him for blowing my cover. He doesn't actually have weapons, but he runs off and finds another squad and brings them to your position.
If any one of those units sees you, do they relay the position to the other units?
Well, we need to come up with a fiction that it makes sense that they don't, like, they can't cascade their stuff across the whole cave. Like, they have to physically go get somebody unless they're close enough to kind of hear them yelling at it by voice. So some of that communication stuff visually is still to be designed, but it's getting close. You can see I kind of cleaned these dudes up, took their cash, and moving on. The white directional arrow will always point me towards my goal, but it's not pointing me towards what's, like, for instance, down here. There's all kinds of stuff. There's little nooks and crannies to explore. There's weapon power-ups that you'll find, little things that you can unlock, like different kinds of weapon power-ups and you know, ship power-ups, upgrades, all kinds of stuff like that. Once you unlock them, it's not like you're going to have them constantly, because it is a roguelike, but they will become unlocked, and you will start to experience them, and they'll start popping up in the stores and stuff like this.
Okay.
So you only have permanence for the one instance, the one mission?
You'll have permanence for the one mission, but you also, like passive stuff. But you will also be able to find different power-ups that, you know, like I'll find some kind of shotgun upgrade or whatever, and then it'll start populating the stores even after I die.
Okay.
So the game kind of tends to start off a little bit easier. We're basically, we took apart the vertical slice that we had for the game that was working really well, kind of broke it down. Young Bretley behind me, he kind of came up with the system. We have an algorithm basically that keeps the encounters fresh, make sure the pacing is different, and like the difficulty kind of ramps up later in the cave. Make sure to kind of keep people on their toes here. I'm a little bit damaged, so I'm going to be kind of looking a little bit more off the beaten path for some forgotten about pirate treasure chest, maybe something's got a health pack in it. Nothing over here.
I like the pilot animation when you boost that will just thrust back like, ah!
Here comes some pirates. Now, there tends to be more Imperials than pirates generally, so I might try something. I might let these guys are kind of shitty shots, so I'm gonna let them chase after me and hope that the next patrol I run into is Imperials, and it is. So this should work out just fine. Hey boys. They're already fighting a bug, so now we've got all four factions. I'm gonna let these guys keep each other busy. I'm just gonna stay out of the way. Just kind of help out from afar here. But let these dudes beat the crap out of each other. Those pirates were tougher than the Imperials apparently, so now I'm gonna just go ahead and with these dudes.
So will you be able to sort of influence those factions in ways that are beyond just like, hey, dragging these guys over and now start fighting each other?
You know, we're talking about some of the future story stuff, like maybe being able to kind of forge temporary relationships with the pirates if it suits both parties. We haven't actually dove into that physically, so it's not there yet. It's something we're thinking about. There's a big guy. These guys are fun too. I mean, as long as I kind of stay on my toes here, I can stay ahead of him. And he's a great distraction. And there's his little friend. I'm gonna bring them too, and I'm gonna jump back in here again. These guys are already engaged with the pirate. We've got some pirate defenses here, so there's probably some loot around here somewhere. And he just took my shields out. I'm gonna just kind of hide. You can hear that giant beetle's going after that missile launcher down there.
So is there a separate, what are the on-screen meters? Do we have a separate health from the shield?
So
if the shield recharges, health doesn't?
Yeah.
You have to go find power-ups? Okay.
Exactly. It's sort of Halo style.
Yeah.
So your shield regenerates in a couple minutes, and as long as you get out of battle and sort of let that recharge, you're in good shape. But your health is much harder to come by.
Okay.
He heard something. You see, his cone goes yellow when he sees something or he hears something. He gets curious, and then he'll go into sort of full-blown attack mode once he locates me and is able to call in my position and really report on me.
Are you taking any shield damage when you bang into the walls, or can you just kind of freely go all over the place?
Yeah, I really feel strongly about that. I feel like this is it's a very physical, tactile game. I mean, everything has a lot of physics-driven, you know, performance behind it, and I want people to be able to bang into things and kind of smash around. Like you can see my shield lights up, and it makes a little sound, so you know you've screwed up if you're playing around in the asteroids or whatever. But it's not about that. It's about banging around, it's smashing into these dudes and knocking them into stuff. These spikes right here, for instance, my shields are full, so I'll show you how what happens here. If I bounce into this thing spikes up, blows my shields down, and then they'll come back in a minute. But it feels really good. Some of the later weapons have a lot more kick, so punching them into walls and punching them into these spikes and stuff, if done intelligently, feels really good. So definitely didn't want to have that damage. There's a large crew here. Maybe I'm just gonna let them noodle around. Maybe I'll do a dick move again. Oh, they found somebody else. There they go. Okay, I'm gonna let them go. I'm gonna let them have that, dude. I'm gonna let them lose my lock. Well, I didn't lose my lock. Sorry, guys. That's okay.
You know.
So I get this juke, which is really nice. I can sort of jump out of the gameplay plane for a second, jump over stuff.
Okay.
Which is really handy in combat like this. Like
do you actually have like invincible frames when you do that?
Yeah, there's a couple frames. It's just kind of a roll, like a Ninja Gaiden or something like that. It's really cool. I mean,
is it limited like 1942 style, or is it like do it over and over again? Or?
Right now, we have a very hacked-in system where the
stuff on top.
Okay. At the top. So you get 3. They charge back pretty quickly.
Right.
But oh, watch this. All right, piss these guys off. Come over here, boys. I got something for you. It's called hot lava. Yeah. So you're outmanned and outgunned in this entire game. So really learning how to utilize the environment and kind of learning to identify some of these weird plant life things. Okay, worked out. Everything's okay. We're okay.
It's a really nice looking explosion.
So he's off eating the grass off these walls. I want that stuff in there, but my health is full. I'm not gonna poke the tiger in the eye here. There's these derelict ships that are left around. Generally have power-ups and stuff left in them. These things are cool. These spores here are sticky and tacky. Piss these guys off. Come over here. And if they're if I'm really being chased, I pop these things up. They get stuck in those things, and I can sort of run around. So again, really utilizing the environment. Understanding what tools are at your disposal, and really utilizing them. I was really into Far Cry 3, and I thought bringing the tigers and stuff into the camps was just super fun. And anything you could do to kind of use the environment to further your cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was always the first thing I would do. Get into a camp, shoot the cage open.
Exactly.
Whatever
just
was in there.
Unleash the chaos and see what happens.
Feel bad if you shot the tiger instead, and ruining your whole plan.
Well, I probably needed that tiger's skin anyway, so.
Right. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. I was hoping there was going to be some Imperials. They're all pirates. These are their big boys. They're really powerful shotguns. I'm going to try to lose them because this is not a fair fight for me right now. Again, I'm going to pop this thing open. Slow these dudes down, give me some time, get some missile locks. Try to kind of pick them off one by one, get them off by themselves, see if there's any power-ups in here. Not right now. Okay, it's fine. Stay away from this guy because he will pin me in with that shotgun and beat the shit out of me.
So is the game structure like the levels and everything is kind of like you've handcrafted tiles that are randomly sort of stuck together intelligently? But then you're telling a story, right? So that stuff's random and then it just connects to scripted stuff that you're building?
Yeah, if you think of something like, I got a bug here, this sucks. I might have to restart this. The missile loader is stuck open. Yeah, it's kind of think of something like Left 4 Dead 2, where there's you play it over and over and over, and there's these little voice clips and these little bits of story that kind of continue to come in. I'm actually going to reboot this because I don't want to play this with it all broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea is that the missions will have bits and bits of story. We're working towards, and I'm not going to promise anything on this, but we're working towards procedural storytelling, where we're actually going to have small bits and pieces of stuff that can be combined intelligently to bring together components to tell a bit of a story, give an inciting action, give a bad guy in that local system, and you've got sort of a mission to go out and achieve. And hopefully we'll have enough bits of components we can switch in and out to kind of have this generic sort of different bits of storytelling. And then you will come across more scripted areas. There will be certain events that are more...
Buzz Hama, that's a good name. That's a great name.
Yeah, that's a good combination of very authentic names of riders from the air.
So just flying around here is endlessly fun. Trying to not hit these rocks, I kind of feel like an ice skater in the Olympics or something. Bouncing around. We call it Death Ballet, which I think is really fun. I want to do a commercial where we go into the whole concept, the high concept
of Death Ballet.
Death Ballet.
Yeah, using some of the 2001 music and kind of starting really graceful and then getting into the crazy.
Perform the Death Blossom.
The Death Blossom. I'm going to watch that movie. I was talking about that last night. I'm going to watch that movie again. I haven't watched it in years.
I definitely, after going and playing that Valkyrie demo at GDC on the Sony VR stuff. That was the.
I didn't get a chance to play that.
It's been a while since I've seen The Last Starfighter. I'm gonna go watch that again.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any missions that take place out in deep space? Obviously, I mean, you wouldn't get these.
We'll have. We're just showing the one location still, but there are quite a few.
And would those be more just kind of balls out combat focused?
Well,
since you don't have choke points and stuff like that.
There's different stuff going on up there. There's different kinds of enemies that you're going to encounter in deeper space.
Okay.
There will be the asteroids and kind of smaller planetoids to run around and use as cover. We want to do some. We haven't shown any yet, but we want to do kind of big ship battle. Attacking an enemy mothership, and they've got waves of fighters and squadrons, and they've got big guns and very Star Warsy sort of, big epic space battles.
R-type style, blow up different parts of the mothership.
Yeah. And we've got our AI guys that we've teamed up with. They're Sentient out of Seattle. They're a new middleware team, and we've just got a dump. We haven't even incorporated it yet from the new AI stuff, but we can have basically pretty large-scale epic space battles going on between the different factions that are all live. So none of that stuff will be scripted. You know what I mean? It'll all be dynamic, and the pirates will be attacking a giant, squadron or an armada of Imperials. And it's just great. I mean, everything that we're doing feeds really well into this procedurally generated kind of large space. It's like this giant stew, and we have all these different recipes and all these different ingredients, and it all kind of just works together really well. I mean, the decision to go roguelike was kind of a long time in the making, and
because originally you were planning on basically scripting the entire game.
Yeah. But as the tools kind of grew, and we were relying on some of the procedural stuff to help just generate content faster, and the way that everything's organic and the AI is like the game is such an AI and combat-driven experience with these physics and stuff, it just really works out as this live cooked component every time I try. I'm like a dolphin here. I play with these pieces of junk and flip them around on my nose.
Space dolphin.
Space Echo.
Just a lot of player expression, right? I mean, like self-expression through playing. I mean, how you jump into things, how you kind of handle the combat. Right now, there's not a real big motivation to get too stealthy in this build, but there will be quite a bit more need for
like
kind of
situations that are damn near impossible.
Yeah, like just don't wake the dragon. You know what I mean? Like stuff like this. Maybe if it's a really bad thing, maybe there'll be a bunch of loot at the end. It's you can go in there if you feel like you're up for it, but it's probably not a good idea.
And what sort of loot? I mean, you're collecting currency and stuff like that. You have power-ups here, but is it going to be like just full-on different weapons, or is it shield upgrades?
Yes, I just realized I haven't showed you any of that. Excuse me 1 second here. Oh boy. So this looks like a bullet hell. Like when you look at screenshots like this, it looks like a bullet hell. But as you can see live, it's anything but.
Right.
I'm gonna just get out of here. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Oh boy, okay. This is good. I mean,
come on, Jake, don't die. Wow, did you really just pause your game in the middle of playing?
Imperials. Okay, I'm gonna use these guys.
Kind of move, man.
I'm gonna use these guys as a distraction. Let my shields rebuild. I see more Imperials coming. The purple arrows are telling me there's a gunship. Okay, everything's going bonkers here. We're running.
Go,
we're running.
Jake, go. Go, Jake, go.
Get out of my dude. These guys with these shotguns. Oh God, get off my jammy. This is good. This is typical. I mean, it's as you can see, it's totally chaos.
You did set it to the most difficult setting. Yeah.
Because I feel like I can take it. I mean, it's not always the best for demoing, but I wanted to show you guys the action. I wanted to get you in here, see some real Galak-Z, and that's exactly what we got going on here today. So this guy is gonna smoke me if I don't get him first. Okay, maybe I'll just back off a bit here. Let's catch my breath. Pacing's important. Like bullet hells, I love them very much, but they're very intense, right? Like they never stop being intense. I can trick him into eating some of those guys too if they come up here. But this is more like there's quiet moments, kind of get back in the groove, catch your breath, let your stuff go down. Here's the goal, and I'm gonna sneak out of here before these guys even find me. Their bullets all have physics. If they sight me and start looting, I won't make it, but got it. Okay, so I finished this mission.
Yeah.
It takes me to the game over screen. You'll see kind of here we'll list everything I've achieved, how long it took me, my ranking, all this kind of stuff.
Nice job, Jake.
It's canned.
Knew it.
And then we kind of jump into this.
Oh, this is really good.
This is
nice.
80s anime after school.
Nicely done.
Very specifically, the American remakes of the Japanese stuff. The music's a little bit different, and we've moved in.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh man.
It just keeps going.
That's really good.
See a little nod to 6959 down there in the corner.
That's very good.
That's rad.
So that's the game. I didn't actually show you. Let me show you some more stuff here. I didn't show you any of the upgrade stuff at all.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump in. You'll notice the difficulty level. It was 399.
Right.
It's now up to 538. So this is actually gonna be more of a hornet's nest.
Okay.
And it's gonna continue to get harder and harder as you play. Luckily, I'm also getting harder and harder as I play, in many ways. I'm going to jump into my weapon stuff here.
On that couch.
So here's some different weapons we can play with. I'm going to say the shotgun's kind of an awesome murder weapon. Jump in up some stuff here. So I have either double range in my shotgun or I choose the auto clip. So as I'm finding these power-ups in the world, they're gonna start populating in the store and they're gonna be randomly partnered with another weapon, so you can't have all of it. Like every time you kind of custom build your weapon, right? So I'm gonna go with the auto clip because it's just brutal. And then I'm also, because I am kind of scared, I'm gonna go in and jump my shield capacity up 1. And I might even have enough cash, no. Okay, so I can come in, I can sort of buy some repairs, I can buy more missiles, and then I jump out. And then go back. So there's different weapons. There's going to be more and more weapons. This is the kind of game where we're going to continue to work on content long after release. So we'll be continually kind of adding new toys to play with, new weapon power-ups, stuff like that. But it really does change the experience. This obviously
Buzz Hama's brother, Wally Hama.
I thought Buzz's work was a little stronger. Wally always felt like he was just kind of cloning his brother's stuff. And
when he took over in the third season.
Wait, I had to shoot that gun.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Are you just? It's just.
Is that royalty free?
It's not going to be in the final game.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, man.
It is not going to be in the final game.
Can you rethink that stance? Can you rethink that stance?
We had a really bad temporary sound, and we were just like, God, it just doesn't sell shotgun. We're like, what can we do in the short term? It was like, I know.
Here's what we can do. We can go unpack Doom.wad.
Yeah.
Busted.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, I'm out of missiles. How did that happen? Damn it. That's bad. This sucks. So this gun, as you can see, is super drive-by gangster style.
Yeah, it's just like get up in the grill
and weapon.
Yeah.
The range, I prefer the finesse of a long-range fighting, but this does not allow for that. But it's just brutal up and close. This is good for some of those heavier encounter. I'm gonna sneak right past this guy. Actually, you guys haven't seen the. This is my favorite enemy, the big guy there, the long guy.
Yeah.
He's the equivalent of the Halo Elite. They're called the Hammerheads in this game. He's flanked by 2 probes and 2 scouts. I don't have any weapons, so I'm gonna get up real close to these guys and take them out right away. And then this guy. These guys are fun to fight, man. They are mean, they are fast. He didn't see me yet. My jump is fantastic for getting over this guy. Oh. You can see how much physics in this thing. Like just sending, oh, there's 2 now. Oh, that's good. If there were some spikes right here, I could kind of try to drag the combat that way and knock him into the spikes. This thing takes a minute to reload. And you can see when their shields are down, like it's kind of like Halo again. Yeah, you know, I keep talking about that game, but Halo is basically my favorite game of all time, and I've always wanted to do a 2D Halo. So, like that, you can see when their shields are down, and that's when you kind of have to engage with them, because their shields will go back up, and their health gets a lot tougher when their shields are back up. So you need to sort of focus on your enemies, decide who you're going to take out when, and kind of clean up.
What other types of sub-weapons are you going to have in there? You got the missiles. Is there going to be other?
Yep, lots of different stuff.
Okay.
We're not talking about some of that stuff yet. We're trying to kind of keep stuff interesting, but there's quite a bit coming, and again, not even all of it has been designed yet. We're going to be loading new content in this for some time after launch. So
cool.
You can expect to see some pretty regular updates with lots of new content, new missions types, new enemy types, all that.
New writers' names.
New writers' names, absolutely. In fact, I would be happy to put you guys in as cameos. Maybe I'll
Patrick Hama.
Yeah. You can look for that in the next build.
Well, cool, Jake. Thanks a lot for bringing it by.
Yeah, thanks, guys. This has been great. I'm really glad that we were able to redo this and things worked out. Oh my, I'm just gonna run.
And you're doing a beta version, but that's not coming at the same time, right? It's a little bit.
Probably not. We are quite busy with the PS4 build right now, and it's coming very soon. It's probably gonna be late summer. So
now that you're kind of thinking about a Vita version of the game, are you thinking like you want cross save or any of that stuff? Or
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I want it to make it as awesome as possible.
Cool.
So we will be working on that, doing our best.
All right. Well, Jake, Brett, thanks for coming by.
Thanks, guys.
And Galak-Z is out this summer. Thanks.
Brad. This is bad.